For decades, companies believed teams were the foundation of productivity. Design teams, marketing teams, engineering teams, support teams, managers to coordinate them all. That structure shaped modern work, and that structure is now breaking. Not slowly, not symbolically, but functionally, because a new type of AI is no longer assisting teams. It is replacing them. These systems are called AI agents, and they are not chatbots. They are not simple automation scripts. They are autonomous systems designed to pursue objectives. They analyze a goal. They break it into steps. They decide priorities. They call tools. They write and run code. They create documents. They message other agents. They monitor outcomes. They correct mistakes. They optimize continuously. They don't wait for a human to drive. They don't stop when one task is done. They keep going until the objective is met or until a constraint blocks them. This is not a future prediction. It is already happening. In software development, agent stacks now handle an end-to-end workflow. One agent reads a product brief and turns it into technical requirements. Another generates architecture, chooses libraries, and produces a plan. Another writes the code, while a test agent creates unit tests and integration tests. A debug agent reads logs, reproduces bugs, proposes fixes, and patches the code. A deployment agent pushes updates, rolls back if needed, and monitors metrics. A security agent scans dependencies, checks permissions, and flags risky behavior. What once required a full engineering team now runs as a system. In marketing, agents do the same thing. They research trends, generate campaigns, run tests, and optimize results continuously. In customer support, agents handle most requests, while humans only take the rare edge cases. The critical shift is not intelligence, it is coordination. Humans were valuable because they coordinated people. Coordination is expensive. It requires time, communication, trust, context, and constant alignment. AI agents now coordinate better than humans coordinate teams. They never lose context. They never miscommunicate. They never forget instructions. They never get tired. They never need a meeting to synchronize. They can keep a live shared memory of the entire project and update it every minute. Once deployed, they operate 24 hours a day, and they scale instantly. One agent becomes 10. 10 become 100. 100 become thousands. No hiring process, no training period, no salaries, no benefits, no HR, no office space. This is why entire teams are disappearing quietly. Not because humans are incompetent, but because coordination itself has been automated. And when coordination disappears, teams become optional. The first roles affected are not senior experts. They are junior positions, middle management, project coordinators, operational roles. Anyone whose value was execution, communication, scheduling, reporting, or task supervision. Those roles exist mainly to move information between people. Agents move information between systems instantly. This creates a brutal compression. What remains are two extremes. At the top, humans who define objectives, constraints, ethics, and long-term direction. People who decide what the company should do and what it must never do. At the bottom, humans performing physical, local, or deeply social tasks that cannot yet be automated. Tasks where reality is messy. Warehouses, maintenance, healthcare, on-site work, negotiation. Everything in between shrinks. This is how companies become smaller, but more powerful. A startup with 2 founders and a fleet of agents can now compete with a company of 50, not by working harder, but by working continuously. No downtime, no fatigue, no loss of focus, no handoff delays between departments. The system is always in motion. We're also seeing agents move into sales operations, finance, and internal analytics. They draft proposals, update CRM records, generate forecasts, reconcile documents, and prepare executive summaries. In some workflows, a single human sets the weekly target, approves the final output, and the rest is handled by agents. One person, one dashboard, and a workforce that scales like software. That's the new productivity curve. Not more employees, but more agents per employee. This creates a new corporate structure. No departments, no hierarchy, no traditional teams. Only objectives, systems, and dashboards. Some already call these structures ghost companies. Organizations where most of the workforce is invisible. No offices, no desks, no human-filled Slack channels. Just interfaces, logs, and metrics. From the outside, nothing looks unusual. Products ship on time. Support responds instantly. Marketing runs every day. Features appear faster. Prices drop. Competitors struggle to keep up. But inside, humans are slowly exiting the process. And here's the dangerous part. This transition is silent. There are no dramatic announcements, no headline that says, "We replaced the team." Teams are simply not replaced. A designer leaves, an agent takes over. A marketer resigns. The system absorbs the workload. A manager quits. The workflow continues uninterrupted. The company does not collapse. It becomes more efficient. This creates lock-in. Once a company relies on autonomous agent systems, going back becomes impossible. Human teams are slower, more expensive, less predictable, more fragile. They have social friction, skill variance, and coordination cost. Agent systems are cheaper, faster, and consistent. So the incentive locks the system in place, and then competition does the rest. When competitors adopt agents, refusing to use them becomes a disadvantage. You lose speed, you lose margin, you lose iteration cycles, you lose market share. This is how optional becomes mandatory, not through force, through survival pressure. And there is a second layer most people miss. Agents don't just replace employees. They replace the idea of a team as a unit of work, because the workforce can be reorganized instantly. Now zoom out. If agents become the default, the labor market changes in a very specific way. Entry-level roles vanish first. Juniors used to learn by doing the boring work. Agents will do that boring work better. So how do humans enter the field? You get a gap, a missing ladder, a generation trained to manage systems without having learned the craft underneath. Power concentrates. The companies with the best agents, data, and infrastructure iterate faster than everyone else. And once you run on agent stacks, your workforce can change overnight because of a software update. And one more thing. When an agent makes a decision, accountability blurs. Who is responsible when an autonomous system causes harm? The founder? The engineer who configured it? The vendor? The model? This is why regulation will lag. Because it was built for humans, not for systems that act. So the future of work is not humans versus machines. It is humans managing AI ecosystems, or being excluded from them entirely. The uncomfortable question is not whether this transformation will happen. It is who will still be necessary when it does. Because when teams disappear, collective protection disappears with them. Careers fragment, negotiation power weakens, responsibility becomes diffuse. You are not replaced by a robot. You're replaced by a system that no longer requires you. And systems do not hesitate. They do not feel guilt. They do not negotiate. They do not slow down. This is not the end of work. It is the end of teams as we know them. And it has already begun. This transmission ends here. The next one is already forming. Stay aware and subscribe to Remain in the Signal.